Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. Listen in light of the fact that these claims against him are getting increasingly strong with each new update. Diddy is likely going to invest a ton of energy in court battling for his life on the grounds that, as per his significant time frame operation and adversary Mr. 50 Cent, the federal authorities are bringing pullback charges against Mr. Diddy. Now 50 and Diddy have been grinding away for quite a long time yet. With this impending claimed RICO case, well, it seems as though 50 may be getting in the high ground against Diddy here, and all these forced charges against Diddy sound genuine terrible in light of the fact that there are considerably more reports of opiate pushing, sex dealing, and a ton of other wrecked stuff. Diddy is at the profound end now, and he is in a tight spot. This is simply going to get muddled, so we should break the tea right down. The thing they're searching for is confirmation of schemes for possibly tax evasion, which could reinforce their relinquishment case, and coming to an obvious conclusion to demonstrate the lifespan, meaning how long this continued and the degree of the exercises of the supposed criminal association. Diddy is definitely not a ton of wreck, and 50C is glad to jokester him all the while, and likewise presented to considerably more obscure exercises about Diddy that we had close to zero familiarity with as of recently. Particularly some understanding data about Diddy's continuous case with country security. Now everyone knows at this point that Diddy and 50 Cent don't get along. What many individuals don't know is that 50 really used to respect Diddy back in the day, and he used to admire Diddy much more. 50 really needed to be endorsed by YD to Terrible Kid Records. However, Diddy denied, and that is the reason 50 got so pungent now. In all decency to Diddy, this didn't express anything to do with 50. Personally, and as per, previous gun it part, Tony. It was since Diddy was apprehensive about marking a craftsman related with firearms and a criminal picture following the passing of Biggie Smalls. And on the off chance that there is one thing around 50 Cent in his initial days, it was that he was enthusiastic about the hoodlum picture, since that was somewhat his image toward the beginning. You all recall him saying numerous men want passing for me. I mean, he was going after everyone now. Tonyo happened to refall that 50 Cent truly needed to sign with Terrible Kid Records, and he had the option to get a gathering with Diddy. Yet it was obvious from the outset that Diddy just accepted the gathering as a convention, since he had no expectations of marking 50. And he wasn't, in any event, able to keep a receptive outlook. Now, Tony Yo said we had a gathering with Diddy, it was me and 50Y, and he removed the gathering from regard. He had bargains all around the table. I wasn't saying he planned to take the arrangement. He may have not. However, Diddy would have rather not taken the arrangement due to all the show. Yet 50 was the most sultry man on earth, and one thing around 50 Cent is that he's trivial as F and keeps a vengeance book. And he has been known to hold these feelings of spite for quite a while, and that occurred with Diddy. 50 Penny's hatred towards Diddy was putrefying for seemingly forever, and that is the reason we've seen him go after Diddy throughout the long term, even under the steady gaze of the claims that began last year. 50C had been concealing Diddy and calling him out for various stuff for a long time. He was discussing the way in which Diddy is on the DL and has been having gay, illicit relationships with numerous men in the business, how Diddy is connected to a few truly obscure associations, and it just happens. 50 Cent has one more motivation to despise on Diddy, since it just so happens Diddy has been keeping his child mom, the mother of 50 Cent child, on his P as his sex laborer. When 50 Cent learned about this, he was enraged about it, and hammered did he and his child mom DNE satisfaction. He pummeled her on Twitter saying, "I didn't realize you were a sex laborer, you sex specialist." This is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you moved pretty far in order to have one more child with me, yet you were a sex laborer and a sex specialist. This is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying, "You moved pretty far in order to have one more child with me, yet you were a sex laborer and a sex specialist." Yo, this is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you moved a pretty far in order to have one more child with me. Yet I wear a sex laborer, you sex specialist. Yo, this is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you moved a pretty far in order to have one more child with me. Yet I wear a sex laborer, you sex specialist. Yo, this is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you vet a pretty far in order to have one more child with me. Yet I wear a sex laborer, you sex specialist. Yo, this is a film. He likewise blamed her for attempting to trap him with another child, saying you moved a pretty far in order to have one more child with me. Yet I was occupied. So you moved back, and afterward you began getting cash from sibling adoration. Now here we are, little sex specialist. He was extremely enraged about this, so angry that he petitioned for essential guardianship of their child. And that makes sense of why he has been keeping his ear to the roads about the ongoing case happening with Diddy and the federal authorities. Now 50 Cent is determined to get revenge and is not entirely set in stone to spell every single insight concerning the case. This time he is uncovering that the federal authorities are purportedly bringing a RICO body of evidence against Diddy. Now, this is really fascinating on the grounds that there have been claims that this entire thing with Diddy and the federal authorities is way greater than him. Purportedly, this situation is one major intrigue and is only a little piece of the scheme. Thus, the RICO charges that are being brought against him and various individuals that he is supposedly prepared to squeal on. Now, you all most likely know a thing or two about RICO because you all are a brilliant bundle, particularly since the entire thing with Youthful Hooligan and YSL and everything, except for those of you who don't realize, examiners frequently use RICO to destroy criminal associations by focusing on not just the people straightforwardly associated with the crimes, yet additionally the individuals who work with or benefit from them, for example, pioneers' partners, and surprisingly, genuine organizations connected to the endeavor, so to effectively arraign under RICO examiners should show the presence of a venture, participated in an example of racketeering action, as well as the respondent's contribution in that undertaking and its criminal operations. So this means the federal authorities have more than sensible uncertainty to accept that Diddy is a piece of this supposed criminal organization that is purportedly engaged with sex dealing, tax evasion, and other stuff like that, and this is extremely fascinating on the grounds that there have been reports before now that Diddy was purportedly associated with money laundering and stuff like that. You all recollect the fourth lady who take Diddy last year, the person who guaranteed that she was a minor when Diddy and a gathering of his companions supposedly saw her. Well, in the claim, she likewise guaranteed that Diddy's Terrible Kid Records was purportedly being utilized as a front for a few crimes, including a few connections to the dark mafia. Now, the claim said at the time Mr. Combs was 34 years of age, 2 times the period of Miss Doe, and one of the most notable and powerful music craftsmen ever. 10 years sooner, Mr. Combs found a terrible kid and introduced his long-lasting companion, Mr. Pierre, into the job of president at the TI. Mr. Combs had numerous associations with Michigan, including, among others, to the Dark Mafia family, BMF, a medication dealing and tax evasion association that is supposed to have situated Terrible Kid as needs be upon data and conviction. Mr. Combs' partners, including Mr. Pierre, and the third as Salient invested huge energy in around Detroit, Michigan. However, this is extremely fascinating, and it likewise builds up 50's cases that Diddy will be confronting drawback charges before long. Now what I see as exceptionally fascinating about this is that the BMF story is as of now being finished and recorded in a show series that is leader-delivered by Curtis Jackson. Also known as 50 Pennies, he should know a ton of tea about the BMF and Diddy, yet curiously, Candace Owens likewise alluded to this at the point when she tweeted about how the radar on Diddy's home by Country Security was only a cover. Candace tweeted that the federal authorities are right now striking Diddy's home. They definitely understood what he was doing. Yet he will be the fall fellow, so they can safeguard individuals at the highest point of the ring. They are assaulting his home to conceal proof, not to find it. That is the manner in which this works. 50 Cent additionally tweeted that Bowie said where the F is his companions, they are not saying anything since they didn't realize he was recording all that. Stand by till I get the tapes. So, who are the others associated with these all crimes? One thing that the Rhodes are saying is that it must be a few extremely influential individuals in the business, considerably more remarkable than Diddy, which is saying something. Diddy is a strict tycoon, or possibly he was before this entire M began. So on the off chance that individuals who were engaged with this, or significantly more impressive, you realize that they are at the very head of the pecking order in Hollywood. This carries us to two names that are being thrown in with the general mash. That is Clive Davis and Lucian Gr. on the off chance that you don't have the foggiest idea who these men are. They are the actual head of the well-established order of things in Hollywood. And they essentially run everything since all that they say goes. Lucian is a director of the President General Music, while Clive is a boss imaginative official over at Sony Music Diversion. Currently, Clive's resume is one of the most noteworthy in Hollywood, and he filled in as leader of Columbia Records from 1967 to 1973, then happened to lay out Arista Records from 1974 until 2000, preceding sending off J Records from 2002 to April 2008. He wore different caps as director and chief of the RCA Music Group, which administered RCA Records. J Records and AIS Records led, and president of J Records and seat of chief of BMG North America, before it's at last getting comfortable at Sony Music Amusement. However, with respect to Lucian, well, his resume is similarly as noteworthy. Board named him as the most remarkable individual in the music business, multiple times. So like I said, it's certain that these two men are sitting right at the highest point of the music business pecking order. Now, assuming you're thinking about how they're both at a Ched to Diddy all around, let me separate it for you, since Diddy and these two men have a few profound ties that go way back, like the long-standing association among Diddy and Clive Davis. Presently, we should go on an outing through a world of fond memories, will we, to the prior days Diddy even sent off Terrible Kid Records, which we are discussing, back when Diddy was simply beginning as an understudy at Uptown Records under the wing of Andre Harrell. However, here's the kicker. Even though Andre possessed the mark, it was Clive Davis who was bankrolling the entire situation, so things were looking really great for Diddy at the name until he chose to advance. Subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.